Oh my goodness. Look how many people are waiting online already. Scott, Jackie, Darren, Jimmy. Excellent. We got quite the crowd already just on YouTube. Maybe one night we'll just do a YouTube check-in. We won't even bother with the radios. And we will get started momentarily. Oh, it is 7 o'clock. Man, that goes quickly. Hopefully I've got it loud enough to hear it. Good evening, everybody. This is Laird, VE3LKS, and I'd like to welcome you to another COVID-19 rag chew here on VE3OSH. This is week 8, Thursday night edition, and it's another beautiful evening out there, and I'm stuck in the shack, but that's okay. It's not all that warm out there, so it's not like I'm missing being able to sit outside in the nice comfy recliner and soak up some sun and heat. Anyways, with that, I will take a standby and we'll see who would like to check in to the rag chew this evening. Again, this is Laird, VE3LKS.
VE3CWR. Victor Echo 3, Papa Whiskey Juliet. 3 BAH. VE3CRU. Victor Echo 3, Papa Whiskey Juliet. Victor Alpha 3, Delta Charlie Echo.
VA3 BTQ.
Papa Sierra. Victor Echo 3, Victor Golf Juliet.
VA3 Romeo Tango Victor.
VA3 Whiskey Bravo Zulu. VA3 RPM.
VA3 SOI.
Okay, very good. Well, that was a good round of check-ins. Let me tell you what I picked up. I got VE3CWR Gerard, VE3PWJ Peter, VA3BAH Brian, VE3CRU Bill, VE3PW. Oh, I got you twice, Peter. I guess you jumped in there twice. That's okay. VA3 DCE Doug, VA3 BTQ Jackie, VA3 TPS Steve, VE3 VGJ Joe, VA3 RTV Jeffrey, VA3 WBZ William, VE3 RPN Scott, and VE3 SOI Jimmy. Is there anybody that I missed or anybody else that would like to join at this time? If so, please come now.
VA3 KJI.
Oh, come on.
And VE3HIX.
VE3KZT. VA3QAD.
Okay, I just blew something here because I overtyped someone's call sign. Okay, I'll tell you what I have from the last check-in. I forget where I left off now. I think it was, I'll go back and I'll say Steve TPS, Joe VE3 VGJ, Jeffrey VA3 RTV, William VA3 WBZ, Scott VE3 RPN, Jimmy VE3 SOI, Grant VA3 KJI, Bob VE3HIX, John VE3KZT, and a new call to me tonight, VA3 QAD is what I heard, but my ears are lousy, so you may have to correct me on that call sign. And somewhere up top, after Bill in the previous list and before Doug, whoever that was, if you remember, when I was calling out your names, who was in between Bill and Doug, if you want to come back again. Okay, nothing heard, so we will have to try to figure that out as we go along here. Just one moment, please. Okay, very good. And let's see, we had... oh man, I just blew everything again. Hold on. I'm having some technical difficulties. Let's take that last call that I had. I think it was VA3QAD. Do I have the correct call? And if not, please feel free to correct me. And your first name, please.
Yes, you have the correct call sign, and your ears are not lousy, very sharp. And my name is Rizwan. That's Romeo India Zulu Whiskey Alpha Nancy. Over.
Okay, very good, Rizwan. Well, welcome to the Rag Chew this evening. Looks like we've got 16 check-ins so far, so it's going to be a busy night here, which is good. Keeps us entertained. For those who aren't familiar with the Rag Chew, it is rather informal. We'll just go through the list as we wrote them down here, and I think the topic for this evening is going to be if you could do one thing that you can't do right now because of the all the restrictions on us, what would it be? Now, I'm not suggesting that you go out and break the law. Don't get me wrong here. I'm a firm believer in the keeping doing what they tell you to do. But if there was one thing that you could do, what would it be? And I'll give you a hint. Mine, okay, see all this up here? Mine would be to go to a barber and get a haircut. So that's what I would do. So with that, we will go back to the top of the list and welcome to, oh man, we got a whole bunch of people on YouTube tonight already. Perfect. Jeff's got the virtual bar and grill open, and Lois is on there. Oh, she likes it when I don't wear a hat. Okay. And let's see who else is on there. Vic's on there. Oh, Gary Z, Gary Z, sorry, one of our SWL listeners is on there. So we got quite a few going. And again, for those who aren't sure what I'm talking about, we are live streaming on YouTube. I'm going to drop it here. So if you go to youtube.com and put in my call sign, which is VE3LKS, that's Lima Kilowatt Sierra. It'll come up with our live stream, and you'll be able to look at this mop of hair on here and see what's going on in the shack as we do the Rag Chew. And as normal, if the YouTube does conk out, because it has a tendency of doing that, then what we will do is we will restart it. Just give me a couple of minutes because the guys will let me know. We'll restart it and then just come back in. Oh, it looks like we have Dave on here too. And Dave, I believe, is the son of SAA, Percy. So glad to have you with us tonight, Dave. So with all that long-winded introduction, we'll go back up to the top to Gerard. Take it away, Gerard. Uh-oh. Was I that long-winded? Everyone's gone to bed already? Gerard, VE3CWR.
Yeah, okay, good evening, everybody. I don't know if it was my finger too weak to push it or jump back up. Yeah, hope all is well with everybody. Yeah, if I had my way, things were good. And I was that not being the case, I got to meet some of them tonight at 7:30. So I may not be around for the next round there, Larry. So everybody have a good night. Now stay around till 7:30, Larry. So if you don't get back in time, take care, everybody. V3 CWR.
Well, excellent, Gerard. Yes, I know you go on to meet some guys down there, so I wish you well, and hope you're able to link up and have a great chat with the boys down there in the Maritimes. It's nice to have all sorts of groups like that you can connect with. VA3 BAH Brian down in Kingston.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody else out there. Beautiful sunny skies here in Kingston after overcast and rain this afternoon. So, great excuse to not cut the grass because now, of course, it's just too wet. And regarding your question, just want to clarify what you're saying there. So, if we could do anything right now, what would we do? Is that correct?
Well, almost. Anything that we're being restricted from doing currently under the COVID-19 guidelines, if anything that you're being restricted from, if you could do right now, what would it be? Now, and again, I'm not suggesting you go out and do it. I'm just saying, what would that one item be? And that's why I said I would get my hair cut, because I haven't had my hair like this since I think the 80s or the 90s. So I'm stuck with it. Anyways, back to you.
Well, you know, the hair is interesting because I've had both extremes. I've shaved it bald, and I had it down to my tailbone in the 70s. So, you know, the hair is kind of not an issue for me. Although what I really like to do, and I know some of you are going to cringe, but I want to go back to work. I want to get on the boat, check the oil, fire up the generator, and go for that 3-hour cruise down the St. Lawrence River. Back to you.
Okay, very good. Well, that just sparked another question for another night, Ginger or Marianne. So we'll save that one for another night. But yes, I know what you mean. Just being able to do that would be fun too. It's funny the things you take for granted, and all of a sudden when we can't do it, we're left high and dry. VE3 CRU, Bill.
Oh, VE3 CRU here. The turn came up quick. Okay, I've got a nice sun in the west there, coming over top of rooftops into the driver's side of the vehicle, which is pointing somewhat northeast in the driveway. And, okay, first with regard to your question, first thing I would want to do is get on the highway, maybe take a run down to Kitchener to visit my son, and head down to Peterborough to visit him down there. But primarily, get on the hilltop and make better use of this equipment there. I can't do much in the driveway. But we do have some crazy hams who violate the COVID laws. They were on the road to contest when they shouldn't be, but that's another story. So, yep, what do you call her? The Meals on Wheels lady delivered me 25 yard waste bags. I've already got 15 filled here. I've got 4 days to fill more before the next pickup. So we're having fun. We're staying safe and happy to be on net. The E3CRU, back to net.
Very good, Bill. I still have the feeling that you're cleaning up a whole forest behind your house there with the amount of bags of recycling yard waste that you got going there. VA3 DCE, Doug, way up there in Uxbridge.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody on frequency. Back to what you said, Laird, about what you wanted to have done. You want a haircut. I'd love to have a haircut, too. I wish I had hair. But anyway, what I'd like to do, other than get a haircut, I'd love to get rid of the stale gas that's in my truck and take a nice long drive to visit my daughter out in Thunder Bay. I text with her every day. She goes out for a walk, and do you believe they're even seeing pelicans flying out there? There are pelicans flying over and back and forth around Thunder Bay, and I have never seen a pelican that wasn't on TV. So I enjoy the drive out there. I enjoy the time out there. Different world entirely. And if I could do anything I wanted, I'd climb in the truck and go to Thunder Bay. I may not be here for the second kick if it's after 8 o'clock, Laird, so I'll let you know right now, just in case. Anyway, back to you, Laird.
Okay, very good, Doug. Yeah, I don't think I've seen I may have seen a pelican in the wild, but not flying around too much. Very good. It's yes, I imagine, because usually you'd be making a trip or two by now, and that's a nice trip up there to Thunder Bay. VA3 BTQ, Jackie.
VA3 BTQ, hello everybody. It's a lovely evening. What I would do is I would go and have a massage and have a spa day. My hair needs it, and I would take Scamp with me because his hair needs cutting too. Over.
Very good. And yes, it's crazy. I know we had a dog. It wasn't the same type as Scamp, but his hair would grow, and we were always having to take him in to get a little off the top too. So I know how that goes. And I tried doing it once myself, and I think the poor dog went into shock. But that's the way it goes. Very good, Jackie. And I just wanted to let you know that I think I mentioned it a few minutes ago, but everybody. Dave Percy's son, VE3 SAA, is online, and Dave's actually a radio personality from down near Wingham. He's got a radio station. He's got a show on a radio station down there, and I wrote down what the call sign was for the station, because Percy was talking to me this morning about it. But I'll find it here in a minute or two and let you guys know. Oh, here it is. It's CKNX, so Charlie Kilowatt Nancy X-ray. So look it up, and I think if I'm right, Dave, I think you go by Buzz on the radio. So maybe you can fill us in on YouTube there. And with that, we will go down to Steve, VA3 TPS up in Fenelon Falls.
Well, good evening, Laird, and to everybody on frequency. Great net you got going there, Laird, as usual, and a good job you're doing. Fine day up here, dodged the rain, did a little work in the shop, and stayed out of trouble. I guess the thing I would really like to do would be to see and hold my 2-week-old grandson, so hopefully that'll happen real soon. Back to you.
Oh yes, I totally forgot that you had a grandchild, and congratulations, Steve. And I hope you've got his first microphone and radio all set up, ready to go and install on his crib for him when you're able to get to see him. And that's amazing. I remember you telling us that when it was going to happen, and congratulations on the great event. So. Yeah, Grandpa Steve. We'll have to figure out something for your call sign now, and to what TPS could stand for Grandpa. So that'll be a topic for another night. We'll throw it out to the hordes and see what they can come up with for a cute slogan for your call sign. Joe, VE3 VGJ.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody on frequency. And yeah, the good question there. Mine would be to get back to social things. Sitting around the coffee shop there talking with the fellows, or in the morning having breakfast and fritter there sitting at the White Feather Farms rather than the way we sort of had to do it in the past. And going out for breakfast Saturday morning with Gerard and that with the fellows. I don't know, just things that regular wing night. Just that aspect of it. It's great talking on the radio and also, on the internet and what have you, Zoom, but the personal touch is what I miss.
Yeah, that's for sure. Dave says it's not me. but he's at CKNX. Let me see. Was that the right one that I had? Yeah, so we had the right one. So maybe that wasn't Dave that I was looking at online then. But very good, Dave. Thanks for letting us know. And yeah, Joe, as I say, it's funny the things that we take for granted, and now that we've been without them for 8 weeks or so, it's just starting to get on the nerves. Hi. Let's see, VA3 RTV, Jeffrey.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ed, and good evening, everybody. Apparently, Lois is just having a private conversation on your YouTube channel with, is it Gary? About golfing, and Lois said that's what she would really look forward to doing when all this is over. She just loves her golf. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not really into the golf. I do go out as an obligation, but I'm not really into it. Yeah, once every 2 years, she says. But I miss the meetings we have at Headquarters 1 and Headquarters 2 and Headquarters 3, and basically the same as Joe. And also, I would like to shake hands with the next controller and thank him very much, because I don't think he could be replaced.
Oh, well, that was going to be the topic for tomorrow night. Who's going to take it over for the next few weeks? So I was going to put your name up there, Jeffrey. So there you go. Maybe you can shake your own hand. Hi. But let's see. Yes, and for anyone who's listening who doesn't know what headquarters is, because I don't think we may not have explained this to some of the guys that are sort of new to the Rag Chew. Headquarters 1 is the McDonald's that's up near King and Town line here in Oshawa. Headquarters 2 is the Tim Hortons at King and Wilson. The McDonald's, there's a bunch of guys that go there every morning. They're old retired guys. I still have to go to work and pay their, top up their Canada pension plan, but they go there and have coffee and think of me. Then we have Headquarters 2, which is Tim's at Wilson and King in Oshawa. And we meet there every Wednesday night. Normally, and have a coffee and a chit chat, and guys bring in radios and other stuff to show off and experiment and get help with. And then Headquarters 3, I'm going to assume that that's White Feather Farm up in Raglan, and normally we would go up there Saturday morning for breakfast. So I hope I got all those correct, Jeffrey.
Very close. Headquarters 3 is the Tim's at Centrefield, which is next to Whitecliff. So after the Whitecliff meeting, we meet at Headquarters 3. But I think what we'll do is call White Feather Farms Headquarters 4. So how about that? Back to you.
Oh, very good. We're going to need a huge spreadsheet just to keep track of all this stuff pretty soon. VA3 WBZ William, good evening.
Good evening, Laird, and all others on net with VA3 WBZ. It's William, as you said. Willikers, two things. I've been working on this generator, as you know. I had the engine running yesterday, but I find there's a problem with the governor, so I have to do a bit of a tear down and repair of that. And, well, maybe by the weekend we'll see what happens. And secondly, what would I do? Well, I'd probably get the scissors out, because my wife's a hairstylist, and I'd want to say, would you cut my hair, please? I'm looking kind of shaggy, and I think I'll do that tomorrow sometime. So my wife's the hairstylist, fellas and ladies, but please don't go line up. She's still practicing this, what do you call that, staying away sort of thing? Isolation. She's still doing that. That's it. So that's it for me. Back to you, Laird.
Okay, very good, William. Yes, the social distancing. Well, I know during Prohibition time, they had what they call speakeasies, where you go down, knock on a door, say a password, and you could have a little libation as such. So if your wife gets to the point to where she opens up a haircutting speakeasy, you may have a customer or two on your hands. Let's see, Scott, VE3 RPN.
Hey, this sounds pretty good. V3 RPN. Yeah, V3 LKS, V3 RPN. I like Joe's idea. I sure miss getting together all the gang, but I do miss my, I guess I've got 6 grandkids now since all this took place. Geez, it hasn't been that long, has it? Anyway, yeah, I'd like to see my grandkids, my 3 grandkids and my 3 step-grandkids, and my son and his lovely gal there. Anyway, what else would I like to do? I don't know. I was thinking about Jackie's cute little boots there, and when he gets his haircut, I wonder if she could take Laird along, because they do poodle cuts there. I can see Laird now, his hair's getting longer with poodle cut. Couple little big bows. I'll take pictures. That's about it there. For now, Laird, over to you, V3 RPN.
Oh, very good, Scotty. Always good to have you on the net. And yeah, pretty soon, if it keeps growing too much longer, I'm going to have to go back into the closet and see if I can find my Oshawa dinner jacket. That's the green plaid one, if you know what I mean, and get my Kodiak work boots out and part my hair down the middle again. So, and then take a picture of that and compare it to my yearbook from the 70s. And we'll see how close I still look to my youthful days of long ago. Hi. Let's see. Jimmy, VE3SOI, good evening.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody on frequency. VE3SOI here. I guess everybody has already spoken, and I would join Joe and be with the boys. That's what I miss the most. And it's nice to watch everybody poke fun at each other. That's what I miss the most. And do it in person. Back to you, Laird.
Okay, very good, Jimmy. Yeah, we better point out to some of our guests tonight that the North Shore group is pretty laid back. We have some excellent operators, we have some excellent technicians, but when we get together, it's pandemonium. We're always poking fun at each other in fun. And so if you hear little jabs tonight, rest assured, they're not meant maliciously. They are all in good humor, and we all take it as such. Let's see, VA3 KJI Grant.
Want to bet? Good evening, Laird, and everybody on the net. Pretty good day today. My lost office chair from Costco finally showed up, even though latest update said they had no idea when it was coming. So you gotta love shipping through these troubling times. Speaking of troubled times, I got quite a long list of stuff I'm missing. My youngest daughter and her fiance live in Curtis, but we've seen them from a distance. I wouldn't mind a hug. And also my trailer and my boat and all my buddies up north. And it would be nice to get together with you guys, since you've all heard me on the radio, but none of you remember me from any meetings probably, except for Joe and Jimmy maybe. Back to you, Laird.
Oh, I remember you. You did the presentation one night when we were still meeting at the Legion in South Oshawa there on the Darlington plant. So, yeah, I remember that clearly. I think I may have even taken that picture that you have. But yeah, it'll be nice to actually get out and meet with the guys again and meet people that we haven't seen in years, but we've been talking to for the last 2 months on the radio. So that's great. So maybe this has been beneficial in a way, because it is bringing people out of the woodwork. We did start this up just so people have a social outlet during this COVID-19 outbreak, and maybe it's going to pay off, and that new friendships will be struck up. And when we get together, we'll have larger get-togethers, because there'll be more of us wanting to get together. So perfect. VE3HIX, Bob.
Good evening, Larry. Good evening, everybody. Most of my stuff's already been covered, but I think my favorite thing is getting out by boat or by motorbike or even by car, going to a nice dockside restaurant with a lot of people around, eating some delicious food outdoors.
Yes.
Close to other people, of course. And oh yes, and finding a place with a little washroom. That's a little rough these days as well. Back to you, Laird. VE3HIX.
Was sort of telling me I need to make a stop, but everywhere you'd stop, there was a lineup out the door, and you'd have to wait for 30 minutes to get in. So that didn't work out too well. Maybe they need to start putting porta potties in the parking lots so that there's extra facilities and amenities that can be taken advantage of. VE3KZT John. And John, we have William online tonight, VA3WBZ, and he picked up a generator, a World War II era generator that he's restoring, and he was curious as to anyone else in the club was restoring any radio type equipment. And I said, well, John doesn't have a radio, World War II radio, but he does have a Jeep, so you guys may want to have a little chit chat later. Anyways, take it away, John.
Good evening, Larry, and all those on frequency. Well, what do I need? Well, yeah, number one, I need a haircut for sure. And that's about the primary thing that I need, for sure. Place feet. So I won't hold it up, step trees, and back to net.
Okay, very good. Well, it sounds like when William's wife decides to open the haircutting speakeasy, she's going to have a long lineup. Anyways, down to our last call, Rizwan, VA3QAD. And if you can let us know where you're coming in from, Rizwan, that'd be great. And I think you probably figured out what we're talking about. So we'd be interested to hear what your favorite thing would be. VA3QAD. Maybe Rizwan had to take off for momentarily. So with that, I'm going to take a quick standby. And I know I missed someone the first go around, and I feel sorry. I feel bad about that. I don't know if it was Bob IRB. Bob, did you check in the first go around? No, I think Bob's on a Zoom meeting. So anyways, at this time, I will take a standby. And if you want to join the Rag Chew this evening, now's your opportunity. This is Laird, VE3LKS.
Victor 304. The third time.
Second, VE3SAA.
Okay, so I think I figured out who I missed on the last one. So it would have been Peter, VE3PWJ. I also copied, I think it was Percy, VE3SAA. I think there was someone else in there too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm back, Laird. They canceled it till Sunday.
Okay, very good. So it was only the two calls. Anybody else wanting to check in?
VE3IRB.
Okay, very good. Just guys, if you can bear with me a minute, the YouTube did hang. Okay, very good. Guys, if you can bear with me a minute, the YouTube did hang up, so I'm just going to reset it. One moment.